You young girls should work on respect for yourselves. Make sure you get an education, because education is very, very important. And don't let anybody interfere with your education. Make up your minds as to what it is you want to do and what it is you want to be, and go forward with it. Go forward with it. If you need help, go to your counselors. Go to other people that you can talk to, or maybe some older professional people. You know, if you know the skill you want to do, like a teacher or a nurse. We have a program at the church where they counsel a lot of the young people into things they want to do. And that's what young people need to do. Work on your skills, work on your education. Education is very, very important. Very, very important, you know. Work on respect for yourself, the way you dress, the way you talk, you know, so.
I want somebody to fall so in love with me that he can't think straight, can't walk straight, can't concentrate when he wakes up in the morning until he hears my voice.
There were a lot of things that happened in my life that actually shaped who I am. I try to stay positive, but of course, like anybody else, I had challenges. I just always remember having conversations about race when I was little, that my parents wanted me to understand that I was a little black girl growing up in the South. And I learned what it meant not just to be a black girl, but to be a brown girl, not lighter skinned, not darker skinned, but just in the middle of the color line. So that actually made a difference in my family. And my great-grandmother on my dad's side favored her lighter skinned grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And so I remember spending a lot of my childhood alone when I stayed with them, because in many cases I was ignored. So I think that actually just fueled my desire to do well academically, to succeed. And my parents were extremely supportive. They loved me no matter what and believed I could do whatever I decided to try to do. But I learned how to study. I learned how to read. I love to read. I learned how to excel on tests. But the one thing I learned was that all that academic knowledge, all that book knowledge had to go along, and has to go along with some sort of common sense. So I cannot tell you how many times in life I've come to appreciate my grandmother on my dad's side of the family, her street smarts, and my dad's street smarts. Even though my dad went to college, he was wise in other ways. And so I learned from them how to blend in different communities and how to listen very carefully, to figure out what people want, to read people, and then to try to, I hate to use the word manipulate, but how to work a system, no matter what it is, to achieve an outcome that I want. I learned that from them, and they were in the streets doing it. And so I applied that same philosophy to school. And I remember in third grade, one of my classmates actually teasing me and saying I was the teacher's pet. But I had learned that if I pleased the teacher, I would actually be more successful in school. And so for me, it was just it was what I wanted to do. I wanted to please the teacher. I wanted to do well in school. And so I figured out how to do that. So now I am at UNC Wilmington, and I've been a professor associate. I started as an assistant professor. Now I'm an associate professor in the Department of Instructional Technology, Foundations, and Secondary Education. This is my 7th year here. I was 2 years at Southern Illinois University in Edwardsville with some wonderful colleagues there. But since I've been here, my focus in my research has always been on social justice and equity and democratic education and the history of education. So I'm looking at race, class, and gender and how those impacts education and outcomes for students and teachers, actually. But since I've been here, I've had the privilege of serving as the Professional Development System Director, which means I try to manage and sustain our partnerships with 145 schools, I should say, and across 12 school districts. My advice to young Black women is important to me because I started teaching to help young Black youth, kids, and actually later on developed this mission to help young Black girls because I was one, and I want to help young black girls develop into strong women and intelligent women capable of grappling with all of the things that will be thrown at you in life. And so here's my advice. Learn how to read the world, learn how to read people, and learn how to listen. With all of those, you'll be able to figure out what people need, because what they need is not often what they express. But if you can figure out what people need and what a situation needs, you'll be able to pull together the resources to meet those needs, and you'll be able to get things done. And if you're a person that can get things done without a lot of conversation about it, then you'll move the world, and people will start to see you as a leader, and they'll start to trust you and depend on you.